Hello paddlers, welcome back to my channel. Well, I'm still not 100%, but I'm about 80% better. I'm starting to feel a lot better again now, but I'm not quite there yet. But I thought I'd take the opportunity to answer this one last question. And considering the time of year, it is the perfect time to do it actually. Right, I was asked, what should I wear under my dry suit? Well, actually, that is a really good question, because a lot of people get that wrong. I've got that wrong in the past. Yeah, I've actually made the mistake in the past with that. Because it is super important, but also that's just as important what not to wear under your dry suit. Right, what I'll do is, because I've waited a bit till I'm feeling a bit better for this one, I'll put my gear on and show you gear. This is sort of like an example. This isn't you must wear this gear. Right, it's an example of what to wear, what not to wear. So I'm going to put some gear on, show you and tell you why some stuff's good, some stuff's bad, and then take from that as you will. But before I do that, I want to talk about thermals. Right, because everyone, I've mentioned it, put some thermals on underneath your dress. Right, you need thermals that breathe. Right, there's no point getting thick woolly thermals because they don't breathe. You need some thermals that breathe. Okay, so all I'm saying about that, do your research. If you're gonna buy some thermals, get some that breathe. In fact, what is a great idea, what I use now, I use them, there's a proper name for them. You see people in like lycra type shorts. You remember the lycra shorts? Nobody wears them now. But there's like, I can't remember the name. I'll look it up and put the name up. Alright, I ain't got my computer on. I'll look it up, put the name up. And they're like an elasticated material, but they're super warm, breathable, and they're great for wearing underneath for dry suit. And people wear them in the gym and stuff like that. You'd have seen me in them. You know what I mean? In like summertime, I wear them sometimes as well, just as like trousers. But right, let me get my gear on and give you an example of what to wear and what not to wear, and more importantly, why. And the why is extremely important. Okay then, right, jump shot. Right then, paddlers. Well, actually, it's been nearly a week since I did that intro. I've actually been out for a paddle since. You might have even seen that video already if I've posted it. But yeah, after making that intro, I started to feel a little bit rough again, so I thought, oh, I'll give it another day. And then I started to feel a lot better, and I started to feel a bit better, and I managed to get out a couple of days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago I think it was. And I'm back to my old self again. I feel fine again. About bloody time. So anyhow, let's just jump in where we left off. Middle of winter. I'll have to deal with UK conditions, because I know some places you're getting like -8, -9, -10. I think, well, we don't really get it that bad, only once in a blue moon, so to speak. Right, when the temperatures plummet and the snow comes and we get 8-foot drifts, and it does happen, trust me. But let's say we're dealing with an average winter, -2 to -5. Okay, right, so I've took my dry suit off. So what's under my dry suit? Okay, right. Obviously a woolly hat, right, that goes without saying. Now, oh, you're not going to hear me here. I might have to put a voiceover on, because I'm going to have to take this off to do the rest. atrocious. And I'm back. Postman. Always seems to happen to me, doesn't it? Anyhow, as I said, I'm just going to put the microphone down and hopefully I might have to increase the volume some. So, dry suit is off. And I will... Under here, this sweatshirt is a super thick lamb wool. Really, it's super thick and warm. I should point out, don't start typing yet, because I know there'll be one or two of you'll know what I'm getting at here. Alright, so don't start typing yet. Alright, super thick lamb's wool. Let's just get this one off. Okay then. Right. Me Lomo onesie fleece under. Right, this is actually designed to go under a dry suit. It's brilliant. Right. Now under that I have another, right, not as thick, right, but fleece jumper. Alright, let me just get this off. I'm going to do a jump shot because you don't need to see me taking a jumper off. Okay, so let's do a jump shot. And I'm back. Okay then, that's my sweatshirt. That's the word I was trying to get out. So, a sweatshirt on inside. And then underneath that, I've got a t-shirt on. Right, and underneath the t-shirt, I've got a thermal shirt. And I'm not going to mess you about, but underneath this, I've got full, not long johns, thermal underwear on. Okay, right, now let me just cool down, take some of this off, and I'll come back to you and explain something to you. Excuse me. Right, I'm back. Okay then, right. Now be aware, I was hot then, I was hot. Right, so when I got out on the water, I'd be hot, I'd be sweating, the world would be great, right? Wrong. 80% of that gear you just seen me wearing, you should never wear. Right? Remember, this is a guard LAN video. Right? Yeah, 80% I should never wear. I'll jump straight into why first of all, then I'll explain a little bit more. Right, because it's very important. As I said, I was hot. And imagine I'm on the boat, I'm paddling, I'm going to sweat. There's going to be sweat. Now the problem with sweat is, it's great when you're paddling, you don't feel it. When you stop paddling, say you stop for a coffee or a break somewhere, before you turn around and come back again, the cold air is going to attack you and turn that warm sweat icy cold, and you are not going to warm up again, full stop. Don't matter how much more gear you put on, you're not going to warm up again unless you strip off, take all your sweaty wet gear off completely and completely change your clothes. Sweat is a killer in winter, literally. Alright, a lot of people think, oh, I have to get as warm as I possibly can. No, that is wrong. You don't want to get as warm as you want to be warm. I mean, that goes without saying, you have to be warm. But for winter paddling and even hiking and walking, but most hikers, if you watch some hiking videos in winter, right, they know this already. But I'm doing this as an information for people that go paddling. Funnily enough, I've just noticed, remember I started this a couple of weeks ago, well, a week and a bit ago. I've noticed Patrik from Air on the Water, he started putting out similar sort of videos all to do with what to wear in winter. Now, you've heard me talk about him plenty of times before. I'm going to leave a link, not to, because he's put a lot of shorts out about the same thing you said, not the same thing, you know what I mean, the same subject. I'll leave a link to his channel. Check out some of the winter shorts. Okay, I may leave a link straight to one of them, but I'll leave a link to his channel because it's the same sort of subject and it is super important. Alright, super important. Anyway, getting back to it, sweat. If you start sweating while you're paddling, alright, and then you stop for a break or something, like I said, the cold air is going to get into you, right, and turn that sweat icy cold, and then you're in trouble because that's going to soak into your skin, your bones, you're going to feel stiff, you're going to be extremely uncomfortable at best. At best, you're going to be extremely uncomfortable. At worst, depending on how much you have sweated and how much it's all over you. If it's just a bit on your neck, you'll be uncomfy and you'll live. But if you've sweated everywhere, that cold is going to get, and you're going to feel it bad. And if you're, let's just say for argument's sake, 6 miles away from where you launched from, and you have to get back there, you're going to suffer. Trust me, you're going to suffer. And during that period, if you happened to capsize, your dry suit will still keep you dry, but the coldness of the water is going to make you feel 10 times worse because you're already wet on the inside because of your sweat. And you could start to suffer from hypothermia, or is it hypothermia? Hyper is when you get hot, hypo is when you get cold. Wish somebody had met them names completely different. But yeah, so you have to be warm, but you don't want to be hot, if that makes any sense. Now, me personally, because when you're paddling, your blood's pumping, so your body's going to keep warm. You want some really thick, warm, wintry gloves. It don't matter if your fingers sweat a bit and change your gloves, take your gloves off for, you know what I mean? You don't want it, you know what I mean by that. You want some thick, warm, wintry gloves. I'm not going to turn this into a glove bloody video. And you obviously want a nice warm hat, and preferably a spare one with you, just in case you've got the wrong type of hat, your head starts to sweat, and everything I've just told you is the same. Change hats. You get me? I have dozens of them, right? But when I go paddling, if it's just cold, let's say 3 or 4 degrees, so it's not freezing, I'll wear a thick woolly warm hat. If it's dropping to minus temperatures, I'll wear a breathable thermal warm hat, so that way if my head does sweat, the air's going to escape. And seeing breathable, that takes me straight on to what you should, the sort of gear you should be wearing. Now, what I wear, and even in the coldest of days, right? Last year we had a couple of days that dropped to about -6 and I went out. I know, stop, Dan, stop typing. It was -9 round here yesterday. I can imagine it, Dan from Sweden typing now. No, but you need gear that breathes. I will wear this breathable thermal shirt I got from Decathlon. I'll put a picture up or a link or something. I think I've mentioned this before in another video. Alright, and this fleece, alright, this one piece, I'll leave a link to this as well. That it's a onesie that goes under your dry suit. They're quite cheap. I picked up 2. When I bought this, I thought, oh, it'll do. Alright, it'll do. And it's brilliant, and at the price, and it's so good. I picked up 2. I bought a second one, a really extra large one that I'd never wear under a dry suit because it's too big and baggy, and I wear it in the house. Just to keep warm, you know what I mean? But that's just me. But no, I'll leave a link to that as well. But I just wear that. This shirt, sometimes some like thermal trousers, but breathable ones, and it is so important. The breathable part is so important. Your body must be allowed to breathe so you don't sweat, right? But then, that's it. Just this and that. When I'm paddling, I'm nice and warm, right? When I stop, start to feel a bit chilly. So I'll have, grab stuff. I'll have like a thick jumper with me, so that when I stop paddling, if I am chilly, sometimes it's not too bad, but if I am chilly, I will undo my dry suit, take the top part off, put the thick jumper on just to keep warm. And then when I start to go paddling again, take the jumper off, dry suit back on, and get going again. You don't want to get hot when you're paddling. Right? It's not like summertime where you're sweating buckets and stuff. It don't matter, the water. It's like cotton. Cotton is a killer for sweat. It holds the sweat like mad. But in summertime, you can wear cotton. I've actually worn a cotton shirt and took it off, dipped it in the water, squeezed it out and put it back on again because I was that hot and it cools you down. You have to be careful of heat shock, but I'm not getting into that. But you don't want to be, you want to be wrapped up, you want to be warm, but you don't want to smother yourself so that when you start to paddle, if you're hot and sweaty, you've got too much gear on. Too much gear on. Sweat is a killer in this time of year. You need to just be comfortable. You don't want to be warm, you don't want to be hot, you want to be comfortable. Paddling away, it's okay, it's not great, but I'm fine, I'm comfortable, I'm warm. Right? If I fall in the water, I've got all the right gear on. I'm warm enough. I'm warm enough. Right? This could be a 10-hour video really easy if I went into everything, but obviously can't do that. Nobody'd watch any of it. You have to be warm enough with breathable, that is the key word, I keep saying it, breathable gear, and at the same time not too much of it. Like all I wear is this and my dry suit, and thermal pants on, keep my legs a bit warmer. If it's really, really cold, you'll know I actually bought a heated, well, it's battery powered, it's like a vest you put on under your dry suit, or you put it on and put your coat on for walking in winter. But I put this vest on, this heated vest, under my dry suit. Do not turn it on. When I stop paddling, when the cold air is starting to come in and my muscles aren't doing out, I'm just sat there, then I'll turn it on just to keep my body warm. But when I get back into that boat and start paddling again, I turn it off. The last thing you want to do is sweat while you're paddling. Now, unfortunately, and this is a shame, having the right gear means spending quite a bit of money, because it's such a shame that the right gear is more expensive than the wrong gear. You can pick up a big thick fleece jumper for, let's say, £20, but if you want to get a full set of gear that's breathable and perfect for you, it could cost you a fortune. You have to shop around and look for sales, and January sales are coming up, so that's a great time to start looking on sites and trying to get stuff. But no, you don't want to wear too much gear. All that gear I had on was completely wrong, right? I'd be paddling 10-15 minutes, there'd be sweat running down me. As soon as I stopped, cold air in, you know, it's I can't explain it any other way. Right? If you get a jug of water, cold water, ice cube, cold water, put your hand in it, right, leave it there, say 10 seconds, whatever. If you take your hand out, your hand still feels cold, right? But if you wrap your hand up in a warm towel, then you start to warm up, let's say. So paddle with the right gear on. When you stop, have some sort of thick jumper or something with you, right? Have one of them electric vest things, as I said, so that when you finish paddling or stopping for a break, you can put an extra layer on just to keep warm, right? Or have a big coat with you, right? Like a scrunchy type coat, but warm. so that when you finish paddling and you stop somewhere for a coffee, you can leave your dry suit on and just put your big coat on over the top just to keep you extra warm. I don't know why. Put your big coat on and zip it up, yeah, so that you're extra warm while you're doing nothing. And then when you start paddling again, take your coat off and start paddling again. But wearing the right gear is super important. But wearing too much gear can be a killer. It's the worst thing you can do. It's like taking a cold bath. You have a cold bath, you get out the bath, right? If you just stood there, it's going to take you ages to get warm again. So you wrap yourself up to warm up, and that sort of thing. So yeah, if you're interested, I'll leave a few links to like this shirt, this onesie thing and stuff, if I remember, but I will remember. But yeah, it's not just about putting as much gear as you can get on, and it's not about putting the thickest gear you can get on. Like, I would never, I wear this when I go out in winter, this big thick jumper, woolly and fleece. I made the mistake of buying this, right, thinking it'd be great for kayaking. Right? I told you, I have fallen into this mistake, and that's why I know what I'm saying is true. I bought this thinking, yeah, I can wear this for kayaking. Big, thick, woolly, it'll keep me warm. Sweat dripping down me, and I suffered. Right, so this is like after years of experience, what to wear, what not to wear. Okay, so trust me, you want warm gear on, you don't want too much of it, and you want to be gear that breathes. In other words, if you do get warm, it evaporates, you get me? Sweat doesn't build up on you. Okay then, paddlers, I'm going to leave this one here. If you've any questions, please, because it's a complicated subject matter. It really is. A lot of people say, no, it's not, just wear some, but there's a lot of gear for sale now, especially on Amazon actually. There's a lot of gear for sale where they say, oh, breathable this and great, keep you warm, but they don't warn you you're going to sweat. And you don't want that for the reasons I've already explained. If you're after the correct gear, your best bet is buy from a kayak shop. It will cost you more. It's the nature of the beast. You have to think a kayak shop is like that. A place like Amazon would fill this room, if you know what I mean. So a kayak shop, fill the room. Because they get stock all over the place. So you'd think everything would be cheaper, and it is. But unfortunately, so's the quality. You can buy a t-shirt from Amazon and a t-shirt from, I don't know, Adidas or whatever, and you know the quality is going to be better, but you paid 10 times the amount. You get me. Okay then, paddlers, I'm going to leave it there, and hopefully I might even be able to get out again tomorrow, because I've checked the weather forecast and it doesn't look too bad for tomorrow, so fingers crossed I'll be getting out again. Starting to get me energy levels up again. I don't know if I posted the video yet, because I ain't even edited it yet. But I went out to Selby, let's say a couple of days ago, and I had a paddle there. It was a bit of a dull day, but I tell you what, cause I ain't done that for weeks, my muscles were aching like mad. I really did feel it. And I nearly fell in a ditch. I didn't, so, but I nearly did. But yeah, I'll try and get that posted soon as I can. You might have already watched it by now anyway, that's it. It's on the computer, I ain't even edited it as I make this, but you might have already seen it. Time travel, it's so confusing. Okay then, paddlers, I'm going to leave this one here and say thanks for watching and cheers.